Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video we'll again discuss about gene cloning. So you can get a reference back by watching the first and the second video under gene cloning of genetic engineering. So in this video we'll be talking about in detail process of what is the CaCl2 and the heat shock method, which I have mentioned in my first and the second slides, second and the first and the second video, pardon. So let's move on. We talked about it. So as you know, their ability to take up DNA. Cells have undergone this treatment and are said to be competent, as I've already mentioned. And E. coli is the most common bacterium that we generally use, and plasmid is the term of DNA, of foreign DNA basically. Alright, so clear. If not, do let me know in the comment section. Let's from there on. So let's talk about the selection of transformed cells. So how do we know that when the DNA gets inside these cells, are all of them which are getting inside the cells are all transformed? How do we know which are transformed and which are not transformed? Because there is a 50-50 chance always, because all of the cells which gets inside the bacterium or E. coli are not all of them transformed, but some of them are transformed whereas some of them are not. So how do we know that all of them are transformed or not? So this is the process of selection of transformed cells. So it says selection of transformed cells containing recombinant plasmids. Alright, selection of transformed cells containing recombinant plasmid. So what is the recombinant plasmid? Recombinant plasmid is a plasmid which contains a vector as well as a foreign DNA with it. Alright, inside the bacterium, as I've already mentioned in my first video. So you can just take a reference by watching the first video. Alright, so which contains the recombinant plasmid will depend on the presence of selectable marker in the. So what does it mean now? So how do the bacteria selectable markers? Alright, so selectable markers can be ampicillin or tetracycline, as I mentioned in my second video. So you can watch them. There are many types of selectable markers which are present in a vector or a plasmid, so that it can be distinguished from one another in the vector plasmid. Alright, and also there is one more technique that needs to be taken care of very nicely. So recombinant plasmid transformed cells can also be detected by blue-white screening, which is also known as the alpha complementation selection method. So this blue-white screening is a big process and is a very important process in gene cloning, so which I'll be explaining in my coming videos, which is an entire, so I'll make a video entirely on this. So I'll give a brief on the next and the upcoming slide of what it is all about. All right, so let's talk about. So let's just get through a basic idea of what is antibiotic selection method. So just to brief once more, like if you it's easy to get to know that all of them, these all are selectable markers which help in the selection process or transformed recombinant vectors. Alright, so these can be ampicillin, chloraphenicol, tetracycline, streptomycin, kanamycin. Alright, so the plasmid containing either of these genes, transformed cells are selected by presence of antibiotics. The antibiotics are these. Alright, in the nutrient or LB agar medium. So LB agar in the nutrient, it can be anything, or LB agar can act as a nutrient. Alright, so LB agar is a sort of a substance, sort of a mixture that we make in a petri dish. Along with that, we pour all in the necessary stuffs with the presence of antibiotics, so that it can distinguish the two. Alright, so let's talk about the presence of antibiotics in the medium. Kill the non-recombinant colony. So the presence of any of these will kill the non-recombinant colonies, so which are not transformed, or the untransformed ones will get killed in this process, and only the recombinant ones will survive. So this is a very easy testing adjuvant process, as you know. So as we use the presence of antibiotics in the vector or the gene, so all the non-recombinant ones or the untransformed ones die, whereas the recombinant colonies survive in the antibiotics medium. Alright, thereon, so let's take a brief about what is blue-white screening. This is, you can see, like a very complicated diagram and everything. So this is a very easy and important thing. So let's talk about it. What is alpha complementation or blue-white screening? Alright, so what is so basically the blue-white screening is facilitated by a laxid gene. So this laxid gene is the promoter, is present in the basically in the promoter site, which I'll be explaining all of it, what it is all about, what is the role of the promoter, and where we can what is the entire thing, what is the role of promoter and everything, where it is, what exactly is lag-Z. So for just now, remember that blue-white screening is preferred, only happens to the presence of lag-Z, okay, which is present in the promoter side. All right. So this basically this is the E. coli or the bacterium, and this has the transformed recombinant thing, all right, which has the gene or the foreign DNA, and this is the plasmid or the vector. All right. So basically presence of lag-Z, these incomplete enzyme molecules with the help of PUC8, PUC8 is another plasmid, gets inside the circle or any of the cells. All right. So basically these complete, as you can see all of the margins here, so the beta galactosidase fragments coded by bacterial gene, and this is a beta galactosidase fragment coded by plasmid gene. All right. So both of them get joined to form a complete beta galactosidase molecule. All right. So these form a with the help of the lag-Z gene. All right. So this is the incomplete one, as you can see, which is a bacterial gene. All right. Blue ones are the bacterial gene and the white ones are the plasmid gene. All right. So with the help of this lag-Z gene and a PUC8 plasmid, these get completed and form a circle, whereas both the fragments coded by the bacterial and the plasmid gene gets completed and form a circle. All right. Whereas now the second step comes, the first one was the role of lag-Z gene. This gets complete and forms a circle. Some of them form and some of them do not form. As you know, this is a 50-50 process. So now we have to screen which of them are formed, which of them are not formed. Some of them remain blue, some of them become white. So after we have formed all of this, we'll just put the thing in a PUC8 recombinant, screening for PUC8 recombinants, which are recombinants and which are not recombinants. So as you can see, the blue ones are the non-recombinant ones, okay, and the white ones are the recombinant ones. Also this medium which is the agar plus exgal. Exgal is the galactosidase medium, agar plus exgal plus IPTG. I will explain all of the full forms in upcoming slides, which has the entire process of lag-Z and everything. So for now just remember it has this sort of medium, agar plus exgal plus IPTG, and in this the blue colony represent the non-recombinant ones, where the white colony represents the recombinant ones. All right. So in this the blue colonies are galactosidase synthesized, whereas the white colonies are not synthesized. All right. So this is sort of like a overview I gave you for blue white screening, or the alpha complementation. All right. So let's keep this video till here. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be updating you with more of the videos like this, so stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching the video.